What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Paint Points. It's that man, Abu, is brother man. And today we got another Washington Commanders draft target video. Today, we targeting Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana. Just won a championship, number 13. Big X receiver. What I say about X receiver? That X receiver is like that AJ Brown type. It's that Julio Jones type. It's that Drake London type. You know what I'm saying? That guy that you put on the outside and you don't worry about. He goes one-on-one the entire game. He gives you your sticks, your digs, your slants, your goals, your fades, red zone opportunities. That's your guy. Tall frame, big frame, strong hands, good power forward type ability when it comes to the red zone. That's your guy. And that's who Elijah Surratt is, man. So we're going to go ahead and check out this video and see how he will adapt to being a Washington Commander if chosen. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look, because we've been going over, we've been looking at the this mock draft from CBS, a 3-round mock draft. And coincidentally, they actually have your man Elijah Surratt being drafted in the 3rd round to the Washington Commanders. Pick number 71. Hey, I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with picking Elijah Surratt no matter what we do at number 7. Whether we pick a wide receiver at number 7, whether we trade back and pick a wide receiver in the 1st round still, whether we trade back and we pick up Kenyon Sadiq in the 1st round, I'm still cool with getting Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana, in the 3rd round. Why? Because if we trade, first of all, if we trade him back, we're gonna have some picks up before this, so that'll be good, right? But Elijah Surratt provides what we don't have, and right now, through free agency, through whatever we've already got, we don't have a big X receiver. We don't have an AJ Brown type. We don't have a Drake London type receiver right now, and that's what Elijah Surratt brings. He could find a starter in the 3rd round. This is about finding starters. This is about finding players that fit the entire scope of a football team. It's not just about getting one guy at number 7 that you think could change around your franchise. Nah, let's roll the dice a little bit and let's pick up players on the way, man. I don't want to hit my point off break. I'm trying to break down that board, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get all the bigs and all the smalls. You know what I'm saying? So let's click on Elijah Surratt. Let's see what they got to say about Brett. We already know he won a championship. Elijah Surratt has good body control to win at the catch point down the field, but lacks the ideal top end speed and explosion to consistently create separation. He projects as a complementary piece in the passing game or depth depending on the situation. 15 touchdowns last year. He's had 31 touchdowns through 2 years before that. So some of his strengths come in, does a good job not tipping route breaks with his eyes and body movements. That's good. Polished route runner with throttles, who throttles down on polished route runner who throttles down well on comebacks and flattens across the field. Reliable hands with 3.4% drop rate in 25. That's good. So we already know this. He lacks vertical field stretching top end speed. Catch radius does not appear as large as his frame might suggest, possibly due to limited wingspan. Limited slot experience. You know, some things that we already know. But let's go ahead and take a look at some other things that we can pay attention to when it comes to a guy like Elijah Surratt. So with a guy like Elijah Surratt, you know, what he brings to the team is, you know, he's built his reputation on, you know, as one of the most physically imposing and reliable boundary receivers in college football. Playing as a true X receiver role, he consistently wins against press coverage, used his frame to dominate at the catch point, and also showed natural body control on fades, back shoulders, and deep sideline routes. His production reflected that growth. Surratt became a good go-to target on high leverage situations, earning attention for his contested catch ability, red zone value, and steady year-over-year improvement. So, he won the championship. His quarterback, Mendoza, who's going number 1, so they threw the football. Omar Cooper Jr. is scheduled to go in the first round, so they threw the football. This guy's scheduled to go in the third round, which still shows you the value that he brings as being the number 2 receiver on his team. Now, can he come to Washington? Can we coach him up to be a number 1 receiver? That X receiver that we just put on the outside and we don't worry about. And we have Terry who can move around the formation. That's what we're looking for. Well, that's what we need, right? Now, coaches praise his toughness, his willingness to block, and his understanding of leverage, all traits that translate cleanly to the next level. If you take those traits right there, what I tell all football players, all young football players, football is all about your leverage. Can you take advantage of the leverage you got? Once you do that, then you learn the game of football. Now, really with Surratt fits almost cleanly with any football team because he brings a prototype skill set that offenses usually need. Every scheme fit benefits from a boundary receiver who can beat physical coverage, expand the strike zone for the wide receiver, for the quarterback, and force defenses to commit extra resources on the outside. He's scheme versatile. He can play in a timing offense. Like I say, a physical blocker who sets the edge. Surratt projects as a plug-and-play X with long-term starter upside. The kind of receiver who stabilizes the passing game by giving his quarterback a trustworthy matchup-winning presence on the perimeter. That's that guy, Elijah Surratt. Now, before we end this video, let's go ahead and take a look at some other videos around the football universe that can let us know a little bit more about the guy that we'll be choosing, possibly be choosing, to come to the burgundy and gold, to put on that burgundy and gold.
Road because he's attended different schools as a multiple. Yes, Elijah Surratt from the University of Indiana, 6'2" and 213, true senior, 4-year starter. Now he's gone an interesting road because he's attended different schools as a multiple transfer. So that's a little bit more unique from that standpoint. But this is a big-bodied receiver, big physical. Think of him almost like a power forward. He really embraces that aspect of the game. Really strong off the line of scrimmage. He really does a nice job of playing strong through contact at the top of the route. Understands how to use his body.
You don't always need speed to get separation.
To hold off defenders at the catch point. Really like just his overall competitive nature and effort that he brings. He's got a really great rapport working with Fernando Mendoza when it comes to those back shoulder fades and slot fades that you'll see, and in the red zone situations, really good timing.
Also, we could bring him in and not have to rely on him to be our number 1 wide receiver. No, he'll be our number 2 or 3 receiver, but he'll have a certain role when it comes to playing on the outside.
Really good ball skills, so
he could really perfect his craft.
Point, and you see the balance and body control in those situations. The other thing about this guy is he's an outstanding blocker. Tough, physical, will embrace that aspect of the game. A couple of flaws, he's missing a level of burst and initial separation quickness versus tight man, so he's not an instant separator, and then he's not going to take the top off in terms of vertical speed. His game is going to be controlling the stick.
Yeah, we know that already, man.
And he's really a hard hat workman type receiver that you're going to bring into the fold, but loves this guy. See him really as a power F or potential Z type receiver. And then I think he's going to bring special teams ability because he's a big body and he's tough and physical. And those things are very underrated and really coveted at our level, where you can do.
And there's been a lot of talk about the rise of Indiana football, and I'm not sure they get there without Surratt.
No question. I mean, they have a really good yin and yang with those 2 receivers. He's the dirty work guy, and then they have an over-the-top guy. So they have a really good balance with that offensive system. Yes,
good catch. Better catch. What was that at? That's a big team.
Mendoza.
That's Ohio State.
Surratt. Touchdown, Indiana. Fade. Surratt. Touchdown, Indiana.
He'll definitely help our team out, man. Look, your speed don't matter if you know when and how to get separation. All you need is a split second of separation.
3 catches, 820, and 12 touchdowns. Coming into the day, they had 53 catches, 820, and 12 touchdowns combined. Surratt is your X. He's a big physical possession receiver, right? Runs good routes, reliable, but he like really handles the perimeter, really good along the sideline, all those sorts of things. And Omar Cooper's 6 foot, probably 5'11" and change, around 200, 205, but he's got some more juice. But my point is, like, they complement each other well. They're the most underrated wide receiver tandem in college football in my eyes.
Because they play for Indiana and no one's seeing it yet.
Because they...
We said it going in. They got playmakers, man.
And they do the little things. Everyone's doing their job at a high level, and there's a confidence and there's a belief. Coming.
Yeah, man. Elijah Surratt, man. Let's check this one out.
College career, he was a very productive receiver, very good receiver, sometimes at a small school. Then he transfers to Indiana. He's really good there. And he's got some.
I think he actually went to JMU. He's another guy who came over with Kirsten.
Size, 6'2", 209 pounds. He has production. Everything in my prospect model points me to the fact that this guy is actually comparable to the likes of, like, the guys immediately ahead of him: Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, Marquise Brown, Sky Moore, Xavier Worthy, guys who were very productive in college. And then behind him, you have like Trey Harris, Jordan Addison, Josh Doxson, George Pickens, Michael Pittman, Brian Thomas Jr. All 4 years of his college career, he was a very productive receiver.
Hey, man, that's a guy I can see in burgundy and gold. A guy you don't got to reach for. You can stay in your spot in the 3rd round and choose him at the number 71 pick. Add him to the team, and he doesn't overlap with the skill set that Terry brings to the field. You know what I'm saying? At this point, the only thing that Terry does is catch football. And they play wide receiver, man. Hey, man, if you got this far in the video, I do appreciate you for clicking on that thumbnail, watching the video through its entirety. It's that man, Abu's brother, man. You watch another video from Paint Points. Today, we had to cover Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana, and show how he fits the Washington Commanders moving forward. Commanders fans, Skins fans, we don't got to reach for Cornell Tate, man. There's other guys in the 1st round. There's other guys throughout the draft that are going to be valuable pieces that we can add to the team. Between the 2nd and 3rd round, there are valuable pieces, valuable wide receivers that play that A.J. Brown role, that play that Drake London role, that can be that X receiver that you put onto the outside and you don't have to worry about. You let him go one-on-one the entire game. And when he start cooking, that's when they start bringing another safety over to help over top. And then the offense is open. So that's all we got to look at, man. We're not trying to build a team full of names. We're trying to build a football team, trying to build a championship team, trying to build a Super Bowl team, Super Bowl contenders at least, man. Hey, like I said, man, I appreciate you watching the video, man. This is another Washington Commanders draft day target, Elijah Surratt. Let's go.